Visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube.
You ever have one of those jobs that just doesn't go your way? Hello. But I got to thinking about Santa cars. See my sock right there? Yeah. He left me a little something something. But nothing seems to be going right today on this job. I'm hoping that he leaves me something better than he left me last time. The sock is empty, but he left me something. If you want to know what it is, you got to go to my Instagram channel, Nile Motormouth, and you'll see what Santa Cars left for me. Yeah. It was disturbing, just like this is. So anyways, I think we got the defrost. I thought I had the defrost situation already taken care of, but apparently, a little adjustment and a better understanding of how this system works. Now I got it. And I should have remembered because I practically grew up on this stuff. Diaphragms. These are the diaphragms. There's 1, 2, and 3. We talked about it in another video. I don't need to go into depth on this one. They control opening the doors for defrost at the top, center dash, and the floor. So this is floor, center dash, defrost. Well, there's 2 lines that go to the defrost. There's a blue one and a yellow one. The yellow one is vent. So what it does, it allows the vacuum to vent out, because once vacuum is applied, watch what happens. So here's how the defrost vent works. When there's no vacuum applied to the diaphragm, you would think that the defrost door then is closed. No. It's opposite to what you think. When there's no vacuum there, the door is open. Which it is. It's open. Right now. That's all it needs to be, because there's a hollow in the center and the air comes around it. So when there's no vacuum to the defrost door diaphragm, the door is naturally open. When we request to have defrost, so right now, defrost is open, it's going to run defrost. When we don't want defrost, we're going to apply vacuum to the, I'll just get this positioned here. I've got used to it now. My vacuum pump has decided to go on the fritz, so I have to put a kit in it. At least I have a kit in the box. It won't pull vacuum. So I am the vacuum. Okay, so I'm applying vacuum. Watch this door right here. This mechanism right here. See what happens to it. And then Skippy will show you the door, which is right there. I'll put the light on it in a minute. But watch this first. So we're saying to the dash, we don't want defrost. Vacuum gets applied. The door is closed. See if I can do this. The door is closed. Even more in just a second. Just watch. I'll apply more vacuum. Then you say, I don't want defrost. The things you gotta do for YouTube. So then you say, well, the windshield's fogging up. I need defrost. So we're going to apply vacuum. I don't need defrost. So right now I have defrost. I don't want defrost. Ta-da! So all the diaphragms are working. I was suspecting we had a diaphragm issue on the defrost, but it's not true. It has 2 lines going to it. One yellow, one blue. Blue is vacuum supply. yellow bleeds off the vacuum. So it's going to hold vacuum until you say, I don't want defrost. Or no, I want defrost. So then vacuum's going to bleed off, the arm's going to move, and it's going to open the defrost door. Hallelujah. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just melted out a half a dozen brain cells. I might not even know how to eat dinner tonight. Okay, so we've got this licked. We fixed the linkage. I'm just going to apply a little more screw pressure to it, and then I'll show you. We got 2 pieces over there that have to go in. Then the dash is ready to sling in here. So if I can get back on the screw I put in there, because somebody really did a number on this system. Oh my gosh. That's a person that should not touch. That's it. I'm going to go that tight. That's a person that should not touch stuff. Yeah, look, but do not touch. Okay. So now we got that ready. That's the airbag wire. Airbag goes here. Okay, so a couple things over there. I'm going to take these screws out because I got everything ready. The dash will hang on there. We got our new gaskets in there to... Okay. Should I scream now or later? I think I'm going to scream now. I think I'm going to have a fit. I don't know where it went. And I don't have any more of those ones, so I think it fell down the hole there. But anyways, that's what magnets are for. I'll fish it out after. Okay, it did go down there, and I think it went right in that hole. So we'll fish it out with a magnet. Okay, I'm coming out. That's enough of that nonsense, let me tell you. I feel like I just, lost a few brain cells on that one. Because it works completely opposite to what you think. So this is the center defrost. We're going to put that in. So I'm just going to set that up there because I can reach it. This is the lower panel. Got fuzzies on here. Yeah. Lint-free clouds. There's something to be said about that. This is ready to go in. So this goes on the bottom, and that gives you to your feet. So this is ready to go. That can go in. We're going to bolt those in. This goes on the passenger side, and I asked somebody to tell me what this is. Why is it shaped like that? Because I can't figure it out. And it goes in underneath the glove box. The one ear was broken off, so I made up a piece here. So when this goes in, goes under, I can figure out which screw hole will put us back into good standing, and then I'll just clip off the rest of it. So it's a quick way to fix broken ears on plastic. Is this, I call it ready strap. It's excellent. And this is coated, so it's kind of nice. So I just drilled it through, put 2 rivets in. That isn't going anywhere. It's probably sturdier than that. But it was broken off. So that goes in on the passenger side. So that's ready to go in. So that's another piece of the puzzle that can be installed. These 2 pieces here, they're not black. How do we know that? Well, I'm going to show you. The interior is going to be slate black when we're done. The dash is slate black. And it's all ready. It's all wired. Everything's set to go. So, and that's going to go in next. This is fixed. It was broken in the middle. I used Gorilla Glue on that. Okay, so if you say, well, it's black. Is it? It's dark gray. So these pieces here, I washed them. I gave them a preliminary wash. And this goes around the, that's the bezel for the instrument cluster. Is it black? It is not. So these 2 pieces plus the center steering wheel piece with the horn button, is it black? It is not. And that has the steering wheel airbag. So I'll clean the rest of the dust out of here. But the whole truck's been like that, just covered in field dust. And this was my pile of screws to come up with a screw to fix the defrost door, because the screw had to be just the right threads, but not too short not too long. And so I went through a bunch of screws till I was happy with what I settled with. So this is, I used to buy paint. I used to do so much restoration work, I bought cases of paint. And I'm told you can't even get plastic coat anymore. But this is excellent vinyl paint. So when I sprayed this, plus the other two pieces, it will not flake or you won't be able to scratch it off. I did a whole interior on an F-150 I bought from an orchard in Grimsby, Ontario, and it was thick with dust inside. But I also bought an 87 F-150 that had perfect interior. It was all burgundy. I completely changed that whole 82 extra cab F-150 to burgundy interior, including the dash pad, which was brown, and I didn't want to change that, but I taped it all off and I painted the dash pad maroon. And I'll just show you that quickly because I still have a tad left. And when I was finished, you could not tell in one night. The secret with this product is, and I'll tell you this, get all the pieces ready at once. And the reason I say that is because if I sprayed that with the black, and then 2 days later I spray this one, and then the day later I spray that one, they don't look the same. So what I did was in one night, I had all the pieces for the truck laid out, so I had to save some pieces from the brown truck inside to lay out with all the burgundy stuff, but I sprayed all of it. I think I used like 3 cans. This was what's left over. I did door panels, you name it. Window winders, the whole package. When I was done, all the pieces were the same dye lot. That's what the term is, dye lot. If you spray some today, some tomorrow, you're going to have 2 colors of burgundy. The dye lot doesn't come out the same. So I sprayed it all at once, left the shop so I wasn't raising any dust. When I came in the morning, it looked amazing. And when I installed it, you could not tell that truck was not born this color. So, and it did not scratch. The whole time I had the truck, everything I painted did not scratch with this plastic coat. And I'm told you can't even get plastic coat anymore, but I used to use a lot of the product. So that covers this segment, and we are ready to install 2 pieces. Then the dash gets to go in. We've conquered the shrew. So this one can go in last once the dash is in. I don't have to put it in right now, but I don't know what it is. It sits in there like this, and there's a pocket. Something obviously goes in there because there's another bracket down below, and we'll show you that once we have this in, and then maybe some of you Jeep people out there can tell me what goes in that spot, because I can't figure it out. Okay? All right, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video, like I know you did, ring the notification bell.